It's Dr. Lori, and it's more Thrift with me. I'm with Karen at the Silver Penny. And some of the best places. Now, what do you have to have for jewelry? You got to make sure you got your loop. You all know where to get it on my website. You got to have your loop with you. So bring that loop, turn on that loop light, right? And make sure that you take a look at the jewelry before you go. So do you separate it by what's marked and what's not marked, or you just let people kind of take a look for themselves and have individual self-discovery?
Well, I have a lot of self-discovery because I've looked at it all before I put it out here to see if there's anything that was really marked.
Like 14K or 18K. Yes. I want to look at the fish. I want to look at the fish. Show me the fish. The little goldfish right in the middle. Oh, I love the fish. Oh, that's beautiful. The silver fish with blue, that's a beautiful piece. And there's another one that looks like kind of fish skeletons. Am I looking at the right thing?
This?
Yeah, is that a fish?
Yes, that is a fish. It's a for a chain would go in there.
Yeah. So a pendant for the fish. That's beautiful. I love that. That's beautiful. So if it's marked, of course, and then you want to remember that you want to make sure that you have, of course, the two, you have the 2 earring set, or if you have a set like bracelets and together. So now the colorful bracelets at the back, which look like a gold tone metal and they've been enameled, they're kind of nice. They're not really my style, but I could see where a reseller could do pretty well with those.
Right. I just got these in and I figured a young girl will really love them.
Yeah. And they'll wear them all the time. And then, of course, the complementary colors, the red and the green, go well together. I like those. So I don't know, $5 each, $10 each?
Yeah, I usually do $5 for the pair, but.
Oh, wow. $5 for the pair. Okay. So we're going to go home with a bag full of jewelry, costume and otherwise, right?
Right.
All right. I like also the keys. I like the key pin with the pearls. Now we're missing a couple of pearls, but those are easy enough to replace. The key to my heart kind of thing. I like that. Is that marked at all?
No.
Unmarked.
Not that I could see.
How about let's look at the pin on the back. Let's see what the pin looks like. See if we can't evaluate that one. There you go. Okay, so probably a late 20th century piece. Costume. Looks like a base metal. I like that you've got all of the original jump, basically the little jump clips there. That's good. The jump rings. And then I like this piece, but we're missing 2 of the faux pearls. Is that what we're missing?
Yes.
You're missing 2. Okay, right. So you're around $5 on this, I would think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. I mean, I'd have to kind of talk myself into that because now I have work. Right. I don't really want work. I have to go get 2 more of the matching little pearls. So, all right. What else? I like the orange. I don't wear a lot of orange, but I mean, I know a lot of folks like orange. Orange is a big color now, coral and orange.
Yeah, I would say, coral.
Yeah. No mark on that?
No.
Can you show me the clasp, Karen? So the clasp tells me 1970s, 1980s. And then the style tells me the same thing. So coral beads with some faux pearls and a link chain of plated gold. Looks like a gold tone. That's pretty nice. So I'd probably be somewhere around $30 on that. And then those orange earrings seem to go right with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then a lot of people would make a deal for the group.
Right.
Right. For the set.
These, they are. I had a lot of clip-ons. These are not.
Those are not clip-ons. How about sterling silver?
I have no sterling silver that I love.
Okay. So
everything I've had, and I don't.
The Native American turquoise and silver, which is not sterling, but those pieces often have a lot of interest. People like the turquoise look, and they like the look that's trying to look like the West, those types of pieces. That's a nice piece. It's pretty, I mean, I think I have a cameo on today, but it's a nice sort of just one piece. You don't need the whole thing. You could just wear one piece, and it sort of makes enough of a statement. So. And then, of course, pearls. Pearls go in and out. You know, I always try to bring pearls back because I think pearls are so popular, but at certain times they go in and out. See, me, I would look at the piece that's in the little red box. I would look at the piece because I like the fact that you've got sort of a grouping there. I like the grouping. I also look at the piece that is the pin. It's a pin kind of close to our orange and pearl and coral. Yeah, I like that pin. I think that's a nice piece. That has a nice look. And the red, white, and blue I like too.
Now these are clip-on earrings.
Yeah. Clip-ons, you know, not a lot of people care for clip-ons, but clip-ons can be functional too. And you can adjust those clips so they feel good. So they're not, oh, it's hurting my ears, it's hurting my ears. Right. So you can do that. I like that you've got those rhinestones, perfect for, you know, a summer Memorial Day or a 4th of July picnic, that kind of thing. They're really kind of fun, those rhinestones. And the clasp and the style looks like, of course, the mid-century modern or vintage look. And the pin next to it is great. The pin next to it, let's see that. Oh, I like that very much. Oh, a couple of missing pieces, but I don't even think I mind that. So it's the pearls. It looks like it's on a branch, sort of like a flowering tree. Any mark on the back of that? Sure. Yeah, that's a nice piece. That's a nice piece for a couple of reasons. I can't see the mark right here. I don't know if you can read it.
Can you read it?
I like that piece. I like the way it's been constructed. A lot of workmanship went into that piece, even though it is costume. And when I say that, it's because all of those pieces have to be set, that the way in which sort of the branch is made and the detail to making the branch is important. So I look for workmanship. I look for who labored over this. How long did it take for them to actually design it? So think of the design time and then the production time, but think of the design time for them to come up with that. So that's a pretty nice piece, even with some
letters I can make out as N-E-R.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, maybe it's a Napier piece.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a Napier piece. It does look like that. And some of those makers, Trifari, Napier, you know, and many of the others, Listener, will actually, Weiss, Trifari, will actually make pieces that they put a lot of time and energy and effort and money into the design. That's what I'm looking at there. And the blue and the silver next to it, I like that one too. Now that looks like it's just one clip-on earring, right?
It is.
Okay, well, one clip-on earring, you can't use it. You've seen me do it. You've seen me do it right here, you know, where, you know, you only have one clip-on earring. Well, here's one, and it's just the clip-on. Hold on, I got to put on another glove. Sorry, guys. It's only one clip-on earring, and then there's the clip. Now, I didn't intend to do this for you, so it's one clip-on earring, and you could just clip it. You know, you can clip it to a collar. You can clip it to a necklace. You can clip, you can make it, you know, sparkle stuff up. So that can still be utilized. The other thing you can do is you can bring it to a jeweler and have it made into a pin. You could do that too. So it's up to you. Nice though. Oh, I just got it caught in the mic. I'm sorry. All the tech guys are like, oh gosh, Dr. Lori, don't get it caught in the mic. So what else? So then we have the rifleman pieces. That's a military piece, the rifleman pin.
You know what? A separate earring is found. For somebody named it.
Treasure hunting. See if you look long enough and I talk long enough, you'll find the pair.
Right. Hey, that happens a lot. People move from one to the other.
Well, that's one of the things that I tell everybody. Don't forget to look around. Take a look. Or if you're somewhere and you want to ask the question, hey, do you think there's another place I can look for another one of these? Don't be shy. A lot of times things just get moved around in these places, you know. And then, of course, there are the people who want to hide things. Do you have that problem, Karen, where people come in and they try to hide something so they can come back later?
Yes. Yes.
Where's a good hiding place?
Right. Well, that's what, you know, when they come in and again, and they go right back to a certain spot, what they've gone to do.
Yeah, that's funny. So hiding places are usually, you know, behind something big. Like if something is like a mirror is leaning up against something, they'll put something behind there, or in a cabinet. So they figure people aren't going to go in cabinets too deep, or in a cookie jar with the lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's fun. You know, it's been years and years of me shopping in thrift stores, of course. But again, I'm leaving all this stuff for you. I'm going to point out those valuables, those beautiful pieces, and tell you what's what. Any cameos?
No.
All right, cameos are hard. Some pieces are very hard. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you're looking for, and you know that I have featured on many of my videos a lot of the bargains that people have found in great places just like Karen's. What a lot of fun. Let's see some more jewelry. Karen, will you indulge me a little longer?
Sure.
Thank you.
Bring that one.
I like the idea of having them on trays. I even like the trays. I think those trays are great. You should put a price tag on those trays because those are very functional.
Right.
It's nice little trays.
They do have price tags. I have a whole stack of them, so.
I like them. They're nice. Okay, so we've got a couple pieces here. So I like bracelets. Many of you, I've told you many times, I like bracelets. I feel naked if I don't have a watch or a bracelet or something on my wrist. I don't know why. Maybe it's a Xena thing. I don't know. but I really like bracelets. So any bracelets there, and are they marked? Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. I caught oh gosh, that bracelet. See, that bracelet brings like a flood of memories. I'm sure this happens for all of you, but that's a little shell bracelet. And I remember I got one of those when I was 10 because I had done something very, very kind for a neighbor. And my dad came home with a bracelet for me. And he said, I want you to remember that was a nice thing to do. That's so funny. That's a funny thing. But yeah, so some of these pieces, while may not be all that valuable, are funny because you say to yourself, wow, I remember that. And certain things speak to an age, speak to a time period, you know? Yeah, like that type of piece. That's a very nice piece, and that's nicely done. Is that piece marked?
Mom, is this piece marked?
That is marked. That is marked the Tajar. Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right? With the crown on it?
Yeah, that's a nice piece. I like that very much. So that piece is nice for a couple reasons. First of all, two different tones. You've got the straight, of course, sort of silver bar, and then you've got the textural silver bar, and then they repeat. It's a nice weighty form, and it does look like, of course, while it's costume jewelry, it does look like the weightiness of a piece of good or fine jewelry. So piece on that piece, I would put probably $65 on. And the other piece I really like are near the stick pins. In front of the stick pins, it looks like a chain link and it's actually a bracelet. That's a nice piece as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that piece is clearly marked on the clasp too.
Okay.
That's a nice piece. I like that one. So if I had to pick two pieces of silver tone metal or sterling metal from that particular tray, those are the two I'm going to pick. I'm not crazy about the belt buckles, but those two are really nice, you know. And of course, if there's a fish pendant hanging around, those are always my favorite. Oh, very nice, very nice.
Right?
Hand hammered.
Yes.
Yeah, hand hammered, very nice. And then people don't always realize that things like clips, buckles, and also scarf clips are something that we don't use that much today, but were really popular and can be repurposed from, of course, the middle 1900s, from the 1960s to about like the 1980s. So those are more popular too. Oh, how about the separated? We'd call it chips and dip, but that's an antipasto plate.
Right.
Yeah, that's a nice piece too. And all separated. And then when you see the mold, when you see that type of mold, you know that this is going to be a lot of production goes into this piece, right? So yeah, you've got some information right there about, of course, the maker. And then you've got, again, those mold areas that will keep the piece nice and sharp lines as they're producing that in the pottery manufacturing facility. See, now that's a piece that I probably would walk by. Would you?
Yes, I'm not really into that.
Yeah, I'd walk by that piece. And then to me, I want a bright color. I want a bright color in the kitchen. How about the arrowback chairs?
I have 5 exactly like this.
Yeah, nice.
And I have one that has the rounded.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you've got 5 and then 1 round bottom. So what I like about those, they're called hard bottom chairs. Now, my first thought on the round bottom is somebody went in there and was skilled, but somebody put that round bottom on that chair that wasn't originally intended.
Really?
Or they at least restained the round one, the round seat.
Yeah.
You know, I do like the one that is in your left hand,
This one?
more traditional, you know,
Right.
hard bottom. And the other thing that I do when I'm shopping, I don't know if you do this, Karen, I look at the feet. So I go down to the legs. I actually hold the legs of the chair all the way down, and I look at the feet to see if it's been sitting in water.
Yes.
I look at those feet because if there's a discoloration on the bottom of the staining, usually that means it's been in a basement or a garage or it's been in water. So I'm careful about that. I do like the additional stretchers. You see all those additional stretchers that are connecting those legs? That helps support those legs. That helps support the chair. And a hard bottom seat is always better. Hard bottom seat. And then you've got the spindles, which in those cases look like arrowbacks. Arrowback spindles are usually from New York State. So you can start to identify where the pieces were actually made. The crest rail at the top, which is that straight line crest rail across the top, I like that too. And I like to see that there's a consistent staining all the way, because that means that when they pulled the chair out, they didn't only pull from the crest rail. I also want people to look at, you see the 4 little arrows at the top where they basically are secured into the top crest rail that goes apart. Make sure that those are not coming apart, because that means that they've been hard on the top crest rail too when they're pushing it in or pulling it out. So,
Okay.
you know, nobody does this, but you always want to move a chair usually from the center of those 2 support bars. But nobody does that, you know.
No.
Those look like they're in really good shape. I like those very, very well. I'm not crazy about the round one, but the round one might be nice for like a corner chair by itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For the cat, you know, you can put the pillow on it and let the cat have it.
Uh-huh.
What else do you want to show me, Karen? So much fun
I
stuff.
want you to see this.
Okay.
I've had this for about 40 years.
Sicily.
I have no idea. It looks to me something that was made while somebody was in service.
I think that's exactly right.
And did it while they were stationed somewhere.
I think these pieces were actually made by the Italians, and I think that they were actually possible to be purchased if you were a military member of the military service from, of course, parts of course, Italy. And we know that the Italians, Mussolini were, of course, with the Third Reich and such during World War II. It's definitely Third World War II era, the 1940s. It's in very nice condition, and it might have been the pieces, the souvenir pieces that would have been sent home by the GIs just following 1945, just following World War II, and then sent back to the United States if they were stationed in the European theater. That's what that looks like. Typically, those pieces are not as popular as sort of a souvenir of France or a souvenir of maybe the Japanese souvenirs or the pieces that came from the Philippines and other parts during the Pacific theater during World War II. But that piece, I would say, is probably a piece that you might be able to resell as a military collectible and as a souvenir of Sicily, somewhere in that $25 to $40 range. What do you have on it in terms of price?
25 on it.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. And remember, the values I'm giving you are based on sales records where similar pieces have sold. So, you know, we're looking at pieces and we're saying, well, this is what we would want to shop for. I just love the shopping. It is so fun to be able to shop. And all of you have been asking, can I shop with you, Dr. Lori? And yeah, this is a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun to feature, of course, shops like the Silver Penny, so you start to see what's offered in different parts. Let's look at this nice, brightly colored, that nice work of art. So let's look at that. It's not
some roughness, but the little bit of feedback, I got this picture along with 2 other ones, and they were hidden in the back of another picture.
That's fun. That's a treasure hunt, right? We love that.
This one was on top, and it was framed.
Yeah.
And then it had this one. It had this one in it as well.
Okay, so they look like watercolors on paper.
Right, they are watercolors on paper.
And then the still life looks like it's been actually attached to a board, glued down.
Yes.
I don't like the still life. Let me see the back of the front of that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. That's junky horrible. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
Either.
Don't be offended. Karen knows me. Karen's not going to be offended.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I've watched you enough. You
know.
won't offend me. But
No.
this one is a nice one. It's a little rough around the edges.
So
But
you can mat it so you don't have to see the roughness.
Right. This says Z Hecht on it. Hecht.
Okay. So now you have a little bit of an idea. Do the other ones say Z Hecht too?
No, the other one says Reginald Marsh.
Oh, the other one says Reginald Marsh?
Yes.
Let's see the other one.
This is the other one that was in the back of that picture.
Can you zoom in on that for me? Ha ha! All right. So that's a Reginald Marsh. And those of you who don't know Reginald Marsh, major American artist of the early 20th century. Z Hecht actually was an artist who also was in New York, Art Students League, in the early part of the 1900s, along with Reginald Marsh. So the Z Hecht piece, which is why we went to it, is a very nice work, a nice watercolor. And the other one, if we can go back to the Z Hecht piece, which all of the figures and such,
Right.
this piece has a market value just about $85. And if we go back to the Reginald Marsh piece is, can we see the back of that? Okay, and let's go back to the front. Looks like it's been in a acid matte for a little while, but it doesn't look acid burn to me. And this watercolor, Reginald Marsh, has a market value just about $500. How much did you pay?
Well, I didn't pay anything because I found it in the back of a picture.
That's treasure hunting to find that. Are you surprised?
I was surprised. I'm surprised that it's worth that much. I did look it up a long time ago, but I never really gave it a whole lot of thought because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. It's one of those pieces that I think I'll just get framed and keep it myself.
I think it's a good idea to keep that yourself. I'm so happy to be able to recognize it for you. It's Reginald Marsh. So, this is where it helps to have me, okay? But This is where it's a wonderful and in pretty good condition. But yeah, some acid-free framing, acid-free matte board, and of course a nice frame. It's good. You deserve it. Karen, we've had such a great time at the Silver Penny. Thank you for bringing us around. Thank you to Denise for being a great camera person. We hardly put a dent in it, so I hope we can do this again because there's so many great things to feature there.
Right.
Thanks so much for thrift shopping with me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you.